Hey, Colabcoaching here yet again to share some wise words of wisdom for the week. 2026, as I said, it is a year of talking about things that you hear a lot in society. Definitely, you speak about it with your family, friends, but it's not talked about in a healthy way. That's your disclaimer. So, with that being said, the topic for this week is you don't trust people. You don't trust people. For whatever happened in your life, you just don't trust people. And because you don't trust people, it's now affecting your life in a negative way. Now, again, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm not here to force you to do anything. But when it comes to trust, you have to realize, well, what is trust to you? What does it mean? Why is it so important? Why do you focus on it? And what's the value of trust? A lot of people, they don't care about trust. They care about getting things done. They care about what people could do for them, and they focus on what they want to succeed in life. And when it comes to feelings and emotions and stuff like that, they don't care about trust. They rather focus on maybe how you treat them and how they treat you and things like that. But when it comes to trust, at least in my opinion, trust is you having vulnerability with someone else. You are literally having the ability to be vulnerable. You're able to express yourself freely, and you're able to release any emotions that you have in a safe environment. A lot of times, a lot of people don't have that, and because of that, or they try to have that and it didn't work out, and then they're at the point where they don't trust people. They don't really understand what it means to trust people, and they make a decision that they will not trust people. Unfortunately, people have been cheated on, people have been talked about, people have been lied to, people have been manipulated, people have been had their trust broken, and because of that, they choose that trust is not something that they see as a very important part in a relationship. And I'm here to say that's not true. You can't do that. You can't do that because if you can't trust somebody, are you really happy in a relationship? If you don't trust this person, even if it's not even like a huge level of trust, if you don't have the door open for trust, can you honestly say that you love that person? Because love is trust. If you love someone, you have trust for that person. You can be open, you can share your true version of yourself. A lot of people walk around with masks. A lot of people are lying. A lot of people are putting up facades because they don't trust people. And especially nowadays when we have social media, we have people who catfish, we have people who lie, deceit, and they play games just so that they can get an upper hand on someone else. And you see so much, you see in social media, you see in people's stories, documentaries, that they thought they trusted this person. They thought that this person was honest with them. They thought this person was had loyalty. This person loved them. But in reality, they didn't really trust you. They didn't really trust that person because they had a whole different persona. They had a whole different mindset. They had a whole different perspective that you just didn't know. And that's the problem. The problem comes when you don't trust someone, the person doesn't trust you, and you're in a relationship. How are you calling that a relationship if you don't trust that person? So what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you just having a companion and you're putting a label on it? Oh, we're intimate, we do things here and there, but in reality we don't trust each other. So how can you have a full concrete foundation if you honestly don't trust this person? How can you say that you want to have a long-term relationship with someone when you know you don't trust this person? And again, I'm not here to define what trust means to you. I'm not here to force the agenda. I'm not here to push you to do anything you don't want to do. But what I am here to say is that you don't trust that person, so you have to be okay with the circumstances that come with you not trusting that person. That person can lie to you. That person can bring deceit, bring manipulation, bring heartache, pain, whatever it is to you because you have decided that you don't trust this person. This person doesn't really need to trust you, and you are just moving on in a so-called relationship. But when you do take the time to trust somebody and you do take the time to learn about someone and you do take the time to figure out what it means to be in a relationship, what it means to be happy, what it means to have loyalty and trust to you and your significant other, I promise you, you'll be able to be vulnerable. That's the biggest thing about it. A lot of people are not vulnerable. A lot of people do not share. A lot of people do not express who they truly are, and that's why relationships fail. That's one of the reasons why relationships fail. Other than finances, we know about that, stuff like that. But that's how relationships fail, because you can't trust this person, you can't be vulnerable with this person, and this person, you're pretty much calling yourself in a relationship with a stranger. You're in a relationship with a stranger, and you will always be in a relationship with a stranger because you don't trust this person, and that person doesn't trust you. So you have to have that conversation at the beginning of a relationship. Are you willing to trust me? Do you have trust for me? I understand you don't trust me completely right now, but are you open to having trust? And if a lot of people say no, then you have the answer. But a lot of people say, yeah, I'm willing to trust you, but then their actions are completely different. They're hiding a lot of things. They're keeping things to themselves. They're not sharing. They're not expressing themselves. They'll say words like "I love you" and "I care about you," but they're not showing that they love and care about you. That's when you have to start realizing that this person really doesn't trust you, and you really don't trust this person. And then you have to ask yourself, the real question is, are you actually happy in this relationship? What are you in this relationship for? And it's as simple as that. I don't want to keep this too long because this is a very simple and clear situation. But in the reality of it all, a lot of people fall short with this multiple times. So to make this as simple as possible, you don't trust people. You don't. Something happened to you in your past. I get it. There was a situation where you wanted to trust someone, and maybe you have trusted someone, and they broke that trust. They lied. They weren't loyal. But the realization is that if you don't trust someone, you cannot be vulnerable with someone. If you're not vulnerable with someone, then you're not really in a relationship. And it's simple as that. A lot of people fail in relationships because of the fact that they pretend like they trust someone and they're not vulnerable. You have to be vulnerable with someone in a relationship to have a successful, concrete, established, foundational relationship. And if you're having trouble with trusting people, that means you have to do the work with yourself and understand, well, what does trust mean for me, and also how to ensure you can trust other people and other people can trust you. Do the work to understand why you don't trust someone and how you can trust someone, so you can be vulnerable in your relationships and have a real relationship instead of people who are just companions, just living together, or just being in a so-called relationship with a label when it's not really a relationship. Simple as that. So if you're struggling with this and you need help, go to my website, yourcolabcoach.com. Sign up for that free 15-minute coaching session. Sign up for that relationship coaching. Also checklists to see if we're a good fit for each other. Facebook Colab Coaching, Instagram Colab Coaching. All my series of my videos are on YouTube. COLAB Coaching. Like and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next video. And share this with anyone that's struggling to trust people. I know there's a lot of people out there, especially nowadays. They need help. But with that being said, thank you so much for listening and watching. Have a wonderful day out there. And thank you for watching. Bye.